You could use newscasts, bulletins, watch the whole bulletin, but take down the main points. So it's an exercise where you're actually writing the headlines. So you watch the whole thing, you write the headlines. Good way of taking notes. One of the exercises I enjoy very much is where you put the cartoons, picture sequences. So you leave out all the words, and what you do, you get the students to fill them in. And they're quite comical, especially if you work in pairs. Or what you can do, you show the first picture, so you all write the first picture, move them around, and the next person follows on with that. It's quite comical, enjoyable, but they are right. In your realia, it's always good to keep a good stock of photographs and pictures, because this way you can use it for tenses, what they're doing at that moment, who's taking a photo, things like this. But also with that, you can create stories. And once again, you get the story, you look where they are, get the students to write a story about the picture. One of the exercises that often help people when they're preparing for exams are questions, writing down questions. This helps in many ways. The first way, prediction. You're asking the question, then write a follow-up answer. So for example, where do you live? I live in London. What's the follow-up? How long have you lived there? Do you like London? Get them thinking and get them to write the questions, because many people concentrate on writing the sentences but forget about the importance of questions. Questions are very, very important. Ask your students to write opinions on different aspects of life. Look at the headlines and then say, what's your opinion? Get them to write it down and then discuss it. So here you're talking about the writing skills and also the speaking skills. One of the things we do here is encourage students to keep a diary. For many different meanings, brings in vocabulary, get them to write in authentic ways about what they have done. And here you can bring in the different tenses. What you did yesterday, what you have done today, what you will do tomorrow. So it's a mixture of tenses. It helps them to understand that, and also they're writing about it, get into the habit of the structure for the different tenses as well. We have another section which is speak and write. That's interviewing people. Now you can do it to one another, milling, going around the classroom and asking each other, or you can actually take it outside into the street and ask passers-by certain questions. And because you're asking, you're talking, and then you're writing. It's a good way of learning both skills. And we recommend that very much. One skill is introducing one another, writing down, talking to them, writing it down, and then introducing. But also you can go a bit further, introducing the family, introducing their school where they study, their university, asking the right questions. And remember, we'll encourage them to ask open questions, not just yes/no questions. Towards the end of this section, there's lots of good writing practice, exercises and guidelines for you to encourage the students how to write correctly and professionally and businesslike. The idea of this is, once again, there are many, many different ways we can encourage them. Authentic material will always encourage them. What they like is very good for them. But one thing, when you're writing for the exam, I think most importantly is the layout. Get them to do a layout. So in the IELTS, for example, they have to write 250 words in 40 minutes. What we say, break it down, introduction, body, conclusion. And we'll do a word count on them. So allow yourself 50 words for the introduction, 50 words for the conclusion, 150 for the body. Always think of the conclusion, what your conclusion is going to be. So you've got something to work towards, so you don't drift. That's the great thing about writing. If you plan it, you make the major points. What will happen? It will help you to be in control of the essay rather than the essay in control of you. We've all done it, but we need now to pass this knowledge on to the students. So we say 50 words introduction, 150, 50. And for different exercises, different exams, you just adapt it accordingly. Word count is very important in these exams, because if you don't get the word count right, quite often you failed. It's as simple as that. In the introduction, we have to learn to answer the question. So we need the student. This is where reading is very important. They read the question, they understand the question, and they answer it in the introduction. So this is why we have to practice answering questions. So there's many different exercises we do at Frisby's, commenting skills, and here you'll find lots of collocations, lots of chunking to help you introduce yourself. Now, many people believe that when you say on the one hand, on the other hand, it's an argument. It's not. If you say on one hand it's good, on the other hand it's bad, you're just stating two facts. So it's knowing what piece of grammar we need in it. So if we've got a discussion, we've got an argument, what the examiner is looking for, modal verbs. It would be a good idea if. We may be able to do that if. We must do this because. This is where we come into the grammar section, showing them where this piece of grammar, and with this we always ask three questions: when, why, and how. When do we use it? Why do we use it? How do we use it? I hope you've enjoyed this insight to writing. We've been doing this for many years, and many of our students have passed their exams, and we're very proud of that. Once again, just to recap, let the students realise just how much they do write and give them authentic material. Make it enjoyable for the students. That's what we always do. Make studying fun. Let them enjoy it. So I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been nice talking to you. Thank you very much.